passed. Hours have passed. The Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee, after the 3-month mandate, after another 1 month has elapsed, is still yet to address stakeholders on progress made, decisions taken, and any other thing that they should know, whether it is even organizing or putting together a roadmap for them to have elections to hand over power. As we speak today, we have not cited any communique from the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee on the way forward for Ghana Boxing.
Okay.
This is not fair. This cannot be allowed. This cannot be what the minister envisaged. You see, I like what the minister said when he inaugurated this committee. He said, quote, "We cannot keep doing things the same way and expect different results.
Yeah.
I am excited. We are taking steps to sanitize the boxing ecosystem. No individual is bigger than Ghana boxing. It's a national treasure that must be preserved." Those were the words of the minister. Now, minister was clear in his mind that there were issues, and these issues needed to be resolved as soon as possible. Now, that committee was not made up of people who didn't know their staff when it comes to boxing.
Yes.
It had very knowledgeable people, people who had been in the boxing space for years. Now, you look at the chairman, Samuel Captain. Samuel Captain was a former chairman of Ghana Boxing Authority.
Yes, that's true.
There was Azuma Nelson on that committee, serving as vice chairman. In fact, he still is there. Azuma Nelson is on that committee, 3-time world champion. Brigadier General Ishmael Ben-Korte, veteran administrator. You have Dr. Mohammed Abdullah, neurosurgeon par excellence. Dr. Ofori Asare, we all know Ofori Asare, trainer. Financial consultant and promoter Niyama Kwati. Nathan, there were a lot of learned people on that committee. Patrick Johnson, once upon a time, General Secretary.
Yes.
Still part of that committee. So that committee had a lot of experts.
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
And so the minister gave them a 90-day mandate, extendable by a month.
Okay.
So another 30 days. So 90 plus another 30. So that brings it up to 120 days for this committee to wrap up whatever they are doing on Ghana boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, after we saw Sharaf Mahama organize that spectacular event at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, we all knew, or we all thought, or we all understood that, look, this interim management committee have finally put boxing on the right foot, on the right path. Ladies and gentlemen, post that event, what has held the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee?
Sporty FM.
What has prevented them from coming out and addressing stakeholders with regards to progress they've made and the steps needed to be taken moving forward? Nathan, what has stopped the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee from doing that?
Yeah.
As we speak, there's a body called what? Boxing stakeholders.
Yes. What's the name?
Concerned. Committee for boxing stakeholders. They are also asking the questions I'm asking. They're asking the interim management committee, when are you going to give us a clear roadmap as to when we hold elections? When are you going to explain to us that, look, we have finally come up with modalities to govern Ghana boxing? This is how we want Ghana boxing to be managed moving on.
Sporty FM.
This is what the medical committee is supposed to look like. These are the people we want to put in the medical committee. These are the people we expect to steer the affairs when it comes to managing the medical side of boxing. These are the rules and regulations we have set in place to guide Ghana boxing, because it's not going to be business as usual. We are not going to see a lot more Atiagbeshi business these days. Or we are not going to see promoters do all sorts of things, whatever they like. No. We want to bring sanity into the space. Nathan, what is preventing the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee from coming out with their conclusions, and their findings, and in fact, whatever work it is they've done? What is stopping them from doing that? So we are going into February, and they are still holding on to a property that they don't own. The boxing ecosystem has its owners. The professional boxing ecosystem has its owners. It has its constitution. It has its own members who also believe that, look, given the opportunity, we can set the affairs of our group. And so if we all supported the coup,
why are you putting it that way?
you see, if we all supported the coup, and I'm proud to be part of those who supported the coup, from the Nikwe administration to Roger Bano's administration. Some of us were excited that those groups were taken out of Ghana boxing for reforms to take place, so that Ghana boxing now becomes an attractive brand. All of us were excited. But up to this point, the silence of the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee is deafening. The only time we heard them back was when people went to organize bouts in Keta. That Aborigines production. That was the only time we heard them back. Sanctioning people had issues with the sanctions but still decided to just go with it. That was the only time we heard the GBIMC issue a communique on matters concerning Ghana boxing.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
Ghana boxing is a big space. And if there are problems and committees have been set up to address the issues, it is only fair that as a matter of urgency, you take the right steps, you take the necessary steps to conclude your job within the time frame the minister has given you.
Fair point.
And then you proceed to implement whatever roadmaps or protocols that you've put in place. But at this point, it is almost looking as if the GBIMC are very happy to be holding on to a position they don't own, holding on to a boxing federation or a boxing authority they do not own. If Mr. Samuel Captain is interested in becoming GBA president again, there's nothing wrong with it. He should set out the roadmap for elections. He should call the stakeholders, tell them this is the way forward for Ghana boxing. It's take it or leave it, or take it or take it. Okay? That is what we are expecting them to do. And I'm calling on Honorable Minister. You see, Honorable, when you give people a task to deliver, and they are dilly-dallying on the job, Honorable, crack the whip. Honorable, if they are not doing the work as you expect, sack them. If they've overstayed their welcome in that office, Honorable, halt their activities and put together a committee that will implement whatever it is that they've written down as at now, and then we'll move on with Ghana boxing. Because you see, Nathan, it's not good for the space. It is not good for the boxing space. And Mr. Yampofanka, I know you are listening to us this morning. The GBIMC is too quiet. This silence is derailing Ghana boxing, professional boxing. This silence is derailing Ghana boxing. And you see, you don't want a situation where people will now start thinking that, oh, maybe the system has been skewed to allow certain individuals to do whatever they want to do in the space. But others will not be given the same chance or will not be given a fair opportunity. You don't want a situation where people will think that the GBIMC have their own personal scores to settle in the office they occupy. You don't want people to think the GBIMC wanted to take over boxing so that they'll serve their own interests. You don't want all those narratives to be running around. So let them do what is right.
Sporty FM.
90 days plus 30, 120 days is enough. Honorable Minister, call them to order. Honorable Kofi Adams, call the GBIMC to order. If it is the work they can do, they should go and tell Honorable they can do the work. But they cannot be holding on to power that is not for them. They cannot hijack a whole Ghana Boxing Authority and run it as if it's their personal property. And you see, the annoying bit is the silence. They are not saying anything to anybody. They are not talking to the media. They are not talking to stakeholders. There's complete blackout with regards to the work this GBIMC is doing.
Yeah.
And it is very disappointing. Look, with the quality of people, caliber of people on that committee, we expected better. A lot of us expected better. And I remember when Honorable Minister was inaugurating, he said, I selected the best of the best. Honorable Minister, some of us are disappointed in this best of the best.
This is Sporty FM.
They must hand over. You see, whatever it is they've worked on, they should go and give it to Minister. They should go and give it to NSC.
But what if it's not complete?
Oh, Nathan. Minister was clear that he was giving them a 90-day mandate. 3 months. With possible further extension of 30 days. Are they telling us they need 2 years to fix Ghana boxing? When we already seen them allow Sharaf and Co to organize boxing bouts, what else is needed? What else is left? And all of us would attest to the fact that that production at the UGMC, University of Ghana Stadium, was fantastic.
It was a very, very good production.
Medical safety protocols, everything was adhered to. So, what is left? What is left? Nathan, the whole idea was to sanitize the space. We've seen an example of the sanity. What else is left?
Sporty FM.
What else is left? Do we have to stay in office and continue to incur costs? Do you know the longer they stay in office, the more the sports ministry would have to be paying per diems and all?
No, of course. I mean, once you are you work on a committee, there are all these costs.
So enough is enough. Enough is enough. Ministers should stop them now. Take whatever they've done, whatever work it is they've done now. Let's look at it. Minister, invite all the stakeholders. Let's see the way forward for professional boxing in Ghana.
Barry, I'm asking a question. So what if they present whatever it is they have?
Yes.
And it's not fully complete. I'm just saying.
It cannot be fully complete. They cannot tell us it's not complete. It's not complete, but you're able to lift the ban on boxing. For our good friend Legacy Rice to organize the boxing promotion.
So you are saying that.
And we also the quality of the event the boy put up.
So you believe that boxing is in a. So
boxing at this point has seen the facelift it needs. Boxing promoters at this point know what is expected of them. Boxers know what is expected of them. In terms of medical protocols.
You believe that promoters and boxers are now very conversant with what they must do and we won't have any issues?
Did we have issues when Mahama Sharaf organized his boxing bout? Legacy Rice organized their boxing. Did we have an issue?
Well, not that I know.
Thank you very much. It means that the change has come. The change has worked. And we've seen it being tested. So what else is left? People continue to sit in office? Doing what exactly? Look, I know Minister will not be happy at all with the GBIMC. And the delay and the lack of communication. I know Minister will not be happy. You see, if you know Honorable Kofi Adams, he's an action man. He expects things to be done quickly. He always expects the job to be rolling. So this pause, I'm not sure he'll be happy with it. And that's why I'm calling on him to intervene in this matter as soon as possible. We don't want a situation where the reset he wants to bring to Ghana boxing now becomes a chaotic reset or a reset that brings a lot of disagreement and misunderstanding. No. The boxing space, as we speak now, if the Legacy Rice promotion and the boxing bout they hosted went strictly according to the dictates of the GBIMC, I think that boxing is ready to kick off in this country with their own constitution and with their own elected members to steer the affairs of Ghana boxing.
So you say that we should allow boxing to
give boxing to the owners.
We should give boxing to the owners.
Give boxing back to the owners.
Whilst keeping an eye on things.
Absolutely. How long did it take FIFA to sanitize the football space post-Kwesi Nyantakyi? Look, it gave them time. Odofole and Co, Kofi Amon and Co, they did their job. They washed their hands. They handed over to Ghana football stakeholders.
I remember that.
It was as simple as that. So this GBIMC, exactly what do they want to do? They want to stay there for a year?
I mean, if you bring in the FIFA and Ghana example, yes, because quickly the work was done, elections were organized, and then they washed their hands.
They moved on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, years later.
Oh, of course. Oh, you see,
after that one is the as we say in our language,
it is their federation.
It them a back case.
But they had done the job.
But they had done the job. They allowed.
And I think that it is not fair that boxing is treated this way. It is not fair. It is not fair. And this GBIMC are the reason why stakeholders are aggrieved.
So you are saying that if their work is done, or by this time the work should have been done. By this time
the work should have been done.
They should have laid out.
They should be getting out of that office.
They should have laid down the procedures and everything for
Nathan,
elections.
What is it? When you are going to fight, bring medical record. Every boxer must be checked. ECG, HIV, blood pressure, everything, sugar test, everything must be checked. Kidney, liver function, everything checked. Make sure the boxer doesn't have any underlying condition that will cause problems. Proper medicals, thorough medicals. There's a medical commission. They vet all the documents. They give approval that, oh yes, Nathan can go and fight. Nathan, that one you need 1 year to do it. Create a database for boxers with their medical records so that it's easy to do reference, 6 months, 3 months, whatever. Post-bout protocols. After the bout, this is what we are going to do. The boxer will have head scans, everything. All of those things will be done. In bout, there's a ringside physician.
A proper one.
A proper ringside physician, not the nurse that they've been using. And then, even if you want to use somebody who's not qualified, must be supervised by a doctor. All of those things put in place. What else is needed? Nathan, what else should they do? What else do they have to do? The real issue was the medical bit.
Yeah.
Nathan, are you telling me that this GBIMC are building a new hospital for boxers, and so until they finish building that hospital to check boxers, their work is not done? Is that the case? Or they themselves are testing the boxers one after the other? So if there are 100 boxers, they are using all this period to test the boxers or to medically pass and certify these boxers? No. I think that, look, when you are given a job, you execute it within the time frame you are given. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
And I'm not expecting that after this week, they'll remain in office as interim management committee for Ghana boxing. I rest my case.
12 after 8. So that's Raymond Yamado's case.
Part 1.
He says
Part 2.
He says that the IMC by this time they should have been done. They should finish, wrap things up, hand over the sport of boxing back to stakeholders so that everybody can go their way.
The problem song.
I don't know if you agree or you disagree. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast.
The problem song. Same time we the solution. The problem song.
It's 13 minutes after 8. Yes, this is Sporty FM 106.1. We are the voice of sport.
Upness. Shit.
Quite interesting. Well, we wait to see what the sports minister will say. Last week, if you remember, we had Alex Intiamwa in studio. He is part of the committee for boxing stakeholders, and they were talking about the fact that they needed some clarity on the way forward in terms of their election. They want to know when that election will be held, so boxing can be given back to back to the stakeholders, and then we all proceed from there. We've seen this happen before. When normalization happened in football, not too long after that, the normalization committee laid the ground rules for elections. They supervised the elections. Boom, they were done, they were gone. And the Ghana football was given back to the Ghana football people. So the boxing people too are saying the same thing. They want an election done because the previous GBA boss, Mr. Nikwe, he resigned, really. He wasn't thrown out. He walked away. So that position is vacant, and there are a few other things that must be done. So an election must be held. New officers will come into office, and then boxing will take care of itself as every other sport should. Whether you disagree or agree, let me know. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. We'll talk Carabao Cup action in a bit. But, Gianni Infantino's comments on reinstating Russia into global sport, or at least into football.
Nathan, I've always asked a question. Why were Russia suspended?
They were suspended because of their invasion of Ukraine. This happened in 2022.
And when it comes to FIFA and their rules, how...
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just read this story for you on the BBC.
Very well.
Okay, now, as I said earlier, Ukraine's sports minister has called FIFA President Gianni Infantino irresponsible and infantile for saying that World Football's governing body will look at lifting a ban on Russia. Russian football teams and clubs were suspended from all competitions by FIFA and UEFA in February 2022 after the country's invasion of Ukraine. With the war still going on, Infantino has said, quote, "This ban has not achieved anything and has just created more frustration and hatred," end quote. He added, quote, "Having girls and boys from Russia being able to play football games in other parts of Europe would help," end quote. In response, Ukraine's sports minister, Matvey Bidny, said in a social media post, Gianni Infantino's words sound irresponsible, not to say infantile. They detach football from the reality in which children are being killed. Let me remind you that since the start of Russia's full-scale aggression, more than 650 Ukrainian athletes and coaches have been killed by Russians. Amongst them were more than 100 footballers. Okay, now the story goes on to say, Infantino was awarded the Russian Order of Friendship Medal by Vladimir Putin after Russia hosted the 2018 World Cup. However, since Russia's ban, they have been unable to compete at the 2022 World Cup and Euro 2024, and the country will not be part of the 2026 World Cup. Russia has not completely stopped playing international football, as they have played matches against non-Western nations without the permission of FIFA or UEFA. Now, Bidny goes on to say, quote, "War is a crime, not politics. It is Russia that politicizes sport and uses it to justify aggression." I share the position of the Ukrainian Association of Football, which also warns against Russia's return to international competitions. As long as Russians continue killing Ukrainians and politicizing sport, their flag and national symbols have no place among people who respect values such as justice, integrity, and fair play, end quote. Serhiy Palkin, who is chief executive of Shakhtar Donetsk, said Infantino's comments, quote, "represent a complete detachment from reality. It is an attempt to pretend that war and aggression do not exist. Football cannot exist outside reality, and it has no right to turn a blind eye to evil." Sorry. Such a decision carries responsibility. Such a decision carries responsibility, including responsibility for complicity in the silencing of war crimes, end quote. Now, Shakhtar Donetsk have not played home matches in Donetsk since 2014 due to the war in Eastern Donbass. They have played at several different home venues in the 12 years since, including in Poland and in Germany. Okay, now last year, Ukraine criticized the International Paralympic Committee's decision to lift a ban on athletes from Russia and its close ally Belarus. The Ukrainian National Paralympic Committee said the IPC had allowed Russia and Belarus to, quote, raise their flags drenched in the blood of hundreds and thousands of people, end quote. Despite the IPC lifting its ban, Russian and Belarusian para-athletes will not be at
Sporty
next
FM.
month's Winter Paralympics. Although the IPC oversees the games, there are 4 separate governing bodies in charge of the 6 sports taking place in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo. 3 of the governing bodies have decided to keep their bans on athletes from the 2 countries, and although Russia and Belarus are now allowed to compete in ice hockey, the decision came too late for them to take part in qualifying. So that's just the full story. This is sourced from the BBC. Okay?
Yeah.
And so that's the argument from the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainians are saying that, listen, Russians or the Russian state has done something very grave. So they do not understand why Russia has been allowed to take part in sport, because they've done something very grave, something that has affected Ukraine, something that has affected Ukrainian athletes, Ukrainian teams, Ukrainian coaches. And from this story, they are saying that over 100 more than 100
Sporty FM.
Ukrainian footballers have been killed because of the aggressive campaign of the Russians in Ukraine. So they say that because of this, Russia should not be allowed to take part in sport.
Yeah, you see, and that ban actually cut across. It pierced deep into almost every sport discipline. So remember, Russian athletes did not take part in the last Olympics. It affected them.
Okay.
greatly. Arina Sabalenka now plays tennis not under the flag of Russia. There was a Formula 1 driver called Nikita Mazepin. He used to race for Haas.
Okay.
Now, his contract was terminated. He was taken off the seat because Haas terminated his contract and the contract of his father's company, Ural Kali, because, of course, they are Russians. And so, because of that widespread ban, Mazepin had to lose his seat. His father's contract has to be
This
cancelled.
is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Football. Russian teams could not play in the World Cup qualifiers. Not even in the Euros. And the simple question we're asking is, we are talking about the humanitarian bit. Yes, it is sad that people are being killed. Sportsmen are dying in Ukraine and all. But some sportsmen in Ukraine are still plying their trade. Alexander Usyk, he's enjoyed massive support in the boxing ring. In the course of that, Usyk has won almost all his title defenses. True or false?
Yeah.
He is enjoying himself as an athlete,
Yes.
despite the war. But a Russian athlete cannot,
FM.
because his country has invaded another country. Nathan, is it fair on humanitarian grounds? Is it fair to that athlete
That one, like that athlete
that a
cannot
war
compete.
he did not directly cause, a war he's not directly involved in? He's just a sportsman. He has to be banned or he has to face stiff sanctions because his country has attacked another country. Is it fair to that athlete?
Well, when you look at it from a certain angle, I understand.
Very well.
Because the person wasn't part of those who took the decision. He's just an athlete.
Your good friend, Roman Abramovich,
Yes.
he lost his Chelsea Football Club because of this.
But you see, in
Again,
Roman,
fair.
again, in Roman's case, there's a bit of a nuance, right? There's a bit of a nuance to it.
Sporty FM.
Now, Roman, in some quarters, is alleged to have ties to the Russian government. So in his case, you can tell that you mix different things to come to a decision.
Roman.
Yes.
Was there proof anywhere that Abramovich was a financier to Kremlin?
Or a beneficiary. Some people have argued that.
Well, a financier to the war in Ukraine. Was there any proof anywhere?
As for that,
No.
I do not.
You see, and so we are saying that, look, on humanitarian grounds, if Usyk and Dynamo Kiev and Shakhtar Donetsk and co can continue playing their football, players continue to earn their living via football, why shouldn't Russians do the same? Playing on the European continent, playing at the world stage. Why shouldn't Russian athletes be allowed to do the same? People's talents are being destroyed. The country that is being attacked, however, has a lot of their athletes playing high-level tennis. When Sabalenka played Svitolina is Ukrainian. She proudly played under the Ukrainian flag.
Yeah.
Sporty
And
FM.
we are saying that, look, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. In Infantino's words, it has not helped the sport. It has not helped in any way.
No, but
this
Rybakina playing,
suspension has not helped in any way.
Rybakina playing under the
Yeah,
Ukrainian...
that's Svitolina.
Svitolina, sorry.
Yeah.
Playing under the Ukrainian flag. I mean,
No, I said she comfortably played
yes,
as a Ukrainian.
yes.
But a Russian sportswoman would have to play under Welt, a flag called Welt. Fair? Is it fair?
But you see, but the athlete has not been prevented from competing.
You see, so that is
athlete been-
that is in Sabalenka's case.
Yes, has she been
But
prevented?
in other cases, footballers cannot play in Europe. Footballers cannot play World Cup. Footballers cannot play World Cup qualifiers. A country that has once hosted the World Cup. Yesterday, the Kremlin made a statement.
What did the Kremlin say?
So let me read the Kremlin statement for you. And I'm sourcing this story from Al Jazeera. Russia welcomes Infantino's comments on lifting ban. Ukraine furious. FIFA. Okay, so let me go straight into the story. The Kremlin has
This
welcomed
is
FIFA
Sporty
President
FM,
Gianni
the voice
Infantino's
of
comments
sport.
on ending a ban on Russia from international football competitions over its war on Ukraine, while Kiev denounced his words as irresponsible. Now, the story goes on to say, Russia has been mostly banned from international sports since it launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Now, quote, "We have seen these statements by Infantino, and we welcome them. It's high time to think about this," Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said. "Our footballers, our national team, must have their rights fully restored. We hope that sooner or later, such discussions will take place in FIFA," he added. Nathan,
Sporty FM.
if it is on humanitarian grounds, some of us will agree
That.
that sportsmen be given their lives back. The ban be lifted on sportsmen. Look, the sportsmen are not fighting. They are not at war with anybody. And you see, sport is supposed to foster unity. Sport itself is supposed to bring peace.
Yes.
And what Sabalenka and Svitolina, after the tennis match, there was no handshake.
I was actually looking out.
There was no handshake because there's war. You know, that is not what sport stands for.
Okay.
Sports doesn't stand for division. It's unity. So I think Infantino is thinking far
Sporty FM.
and thinking about the best interest of the sport and not the political bit of things.
Okay, but right now, how does he navigate this? Because he makes a point about, he says the ban hasn't brought anything. He hasn't achieved anything. Let's let the Russians play. But what about those who feel aggrieved by Russia's acts?
Well, that is on a different level.
FIFA, because you know that FIFA right now cannot legislate Russia and Ukraine ever not meeting on the football pitch. What if they meet in a World Cup?
Oh, well, if they meet and one, no, of course. I mean, it is football, and those matchups could always happen.
Yes.
That in itself could could be a path for the organizers of the game to even push some how do you call it, some peace deals across board. You remember Didier Drogba during the Ivorian War? Didier
Sporty
Drogba
FM.
said, anytime les éléphants
Les éléphants.
were playing, the warring factions went to bed. Same for Sudan. True or false?
Yes.
Kosi Appiah says when Sudan is playing and they are doing well,
Yeah.
all the factions drop their arms. True or false? That in itself can foster unity. It's a part on its own to restoring unity. Ukraine versus Russia. It's a grudge match. How do you take advantage of it? Well, it's two ways. It can escalate into something else. We could see a war in the stands. But then again, another opportunity, another avenue for us to start talking about peace again. So, you know, I am thinking more about the athletes. Nathan, if you're a Russian today, and you are the best swimmer in Russia, and because of this war, the world cannot see you. Minyaza puts Nathan Kwao in the water, nobody can see you.
Sporty FM, the
sad.
voice of sport.
If you're a footballer, today we are going to the World Cup. You've not been given a fair chance to play a qualify and fail to qualify. But you see your colleagues there playing at the World Cup, and there's no Russia because you, the footballer who hasn't gone to war, has been punished for the sins of the nation. I think that's not fair. What happens to my talent? What happens to my talent? You understand me? The likes of the Chelsea boy, Mudryk, he's enjoying his football. Having moved from Ukraine to England.
Well, he hasn't played.
Yeah, but then again, if a player in Russia, possibly scoring 20 goals, 50 goals, will not get a look in because it's Russian. So no European team wants to buy
Sporty
it.
FM.
It's not fair to the sport. We've seen Russian players in the past play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And they did well. All of these players will want to have a fair shot at showcasing their talent to the world.
Okay.
And I don't think it's fair.
Okay. Let's go to the line, right? Let's go to the line. Let's let's try and get a deeper understanding to this because this conversation is really interesting. We've been joined by Farouk Al-Wahab. He's a international relations analyst, a diplomatic consultant, and an analyst in terms of security. Mr. Al-Wahab, thank you. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great, mashallah. I'm fine. You?
Yes, we are fine. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. We've not spoken in 2026.
Well, many happy.
All right. We are having a conversation on FIFA President Gianni Infantino's comments. He says that he would want Russia reinstated in football, at least because football is his area. The people on the Ukrainian side seem very upset that a country that has invaded their space and has caused all kinds of problems are going to get possibly going to get the opportunity to take part in world football. What do you make of all of this, the politics of it? Is Gianni Infantino right? Are the Ukrainians right to say that they don't want Russia taking part in world football or in sport? Your take on all of this?
Okay. How's your program is it?
Hello?
Boss.
Yes,
your
sir.
program is in English.
Yes, it is.
Your program is an English.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's an English speaking program,
good.
please.
I don't want to be okay, thank you. So
That's fine.
I'm trying to have you. It is just a mockery and a fanfare for Ukraine, a country which is part and parcel and a member of the FIFA President, to suggest to the FIFA President accusing Russia that
Hello? Hello, Mr. Al-Wahab?
yes, yes,
Yeah, I can hear you now. Your line, yes, your line was a little fuzzy.
Okay.
Can you please take
All
that
right.
again? Yes.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We'll let you know if the line gets unstable.
Better. So I'm saying that it is misplaced priorities and then out of bounds in the first place to suggest a suggestion from you that Russia should not be allowed to join FIFA. But the Ukrainians are allowed to join. Is that the case? Is that the argument? Let us ask them, is Israel allowed to join the FIFA? Has he spoken for Israel? How many countries have protested that Israel should not be permitted to play any sanctioned match by FIFA? Has FIFA agreed? Has FIFA allowed them or not? What about other countries of the world? United States of America. It has unleashed spikes, atrocities in the good name of their own democracy, understanding that they went to Libya, an African country, crash it. They went to Afghanistan, world member country, crash it. America went to Iraq, crash it. Where was Ukraine? Whereas America have been playing World Cup. Where has been Ukraine when Israel had been killing since 1967, the Palestine, Ukraine was allowed perfectly to play football. Where did we get here? Ukraine, you and I, and for the public and for listening, they are at war. They are at war. You don't understand the meaning of war? It takes two countries to fight.
Yeah.
Or it takes more to fight.
Yeah.
Is that not it?
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. So, in as much as Russia bombed land on Ukraine soil, are we saying that Ukraine is not boasting all over the world that they are killing Russian figures like fowls? Is there any killing of a human being different from killing of a human being from one country or another when the two countries have agreed to engage in war? Historically, diplomatically, conventionally, they didn't start with war. Ukraine didn't talk at that time. They started with military operations.
Sporty.
At that time, Ukraine was rather killing Crimean citizens who are Ukrainians and they are Russians, and they wanted to be on the side of Russia, on the Donbass region.
Mm-hmm.
Crimeans were massacred by Ukraine. Was the word, did they tell Infantino that we are killing moderate Russians who do not want to join the FSB and the Hamas? Take us, expunged from the no. Then Russia launched what is called counter-military operation. And then Russia upscaled it to invasion. Ukraine responded to the Russian invasion. So the level 1 was the operation, level 2 was invasion, and level 3, they all agreed to now engage in war. So two countries agreed to engage in war. Who is Ukraine also to say that Russia should not join, but Ukraine should be allowed to join? But then Israel, so how many people have been killed since last year? Since last 2 years, almost. 2024 till today, October, how many Palestinians have been killed? How many people have been killed in Yemen? How many of them have been killed in Sudan as we speak? How many of them have been killed in other countries of the world? So Ukraine cannot be seeing themselves as the pampered baby of the NATO, pampered baby of the world. The whole world must rise up and then to carry them on back because it's Ukraine. And they also tell their track record of what it is to people who solemnly declare that we don't want to be Ukrainians, we are Russians, because they were Russians. Until Ukraine went away from the UdSSR, the Soviet Union, they are Russians. But then their numbers were overwhelming, over 2-3 million people saying that we don't want to be Ukraine, we want to be called Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And please, the border, we are belonging to Russia. What did Ukraine do to them? They are not dealing with the subject matter of the war history. But I want the people to understand that their war did not start with war. It started with military operation,
Mm-hmm.
elevated into military invasion. Military invasion means that Ukraine invaded Russia part of the Crimea. Russia invaded Ukraine part of the Russia. And then they upscaled it to war. And war means that I can come to your territory and kill you, come to my territory and kill me. So if two countries are engaged in war, is Ukraine saying that Russia is bombarding them and they are not responding? I believe the answer is no. So if the answer is no, you have also killed Russians and they are also killing you. So let's leave that outside. But then back to Infantino.
Yeah.
He made an honest appeal. If not anything at all, football is served as a denominator of peace. Football is served as what? A denominator and a unifier of peace.
Yeah.
Protocols that we see areas and cases and places where uniform football has ended up fight. Football has ended up against the occasion of what? How do we call it? Peace treaty after football. If Akosiapia was a bit lucky, and then he won the AFCON.
Yes.
Look at even the matches that he won. Before he to the knockout, look at the euphoria, the enthusiasm, and how you Sudanese. That very day of the match, no bomb shattered, no bomb dropped on each side. Either Buran or his competitor or his rival. They didn't fight because the soldiers were glued to the television. So Infantino's call is right direction. If not anything, youth development, not only football, athletics. And let us not forget, the whole Europe, Russia being the top athletics in the whole Europe. When it comes to medals, they take, because their population, they get more than the UK.
Yeah.
They get more than the Germans. They get more than the French. They get more than the Polish. They are always in the top. So where is this talent? Where are they? Throughout the war. How long does Ukraine, how long does the world want to hold Russia? And they hold the destiny and the talent of Russian citizens, youth who are not part and who are not politicians, they are not the cause. Footballers who are not part, they are not politicians, and then they all have to abandon more or less due to political discourse. Misunderstanding became political dynamics that has to cause them. And the Ukraine is telling they are angry. They, of course, I'm sorry, they can go to hell because they've not spoken about other countries that have suffered in the hands of the West. And I'm referring to the NATO nations, atrocities they've caused into other countries. What happened to them? Did they take them out? France, Italy, Spain, United Kingdom, all over countries that are part of the NATO. Were they not in Afghanistan bombarding, killing, destroying? But their countries were busy playing AFCON challenge, European Championships.
Yeah.
They were busy playing national teams. They were busy playing World Cup. They were busy playing European Cup. Why Russia? So politically, these are all silly political dynamics that some politicians roll. And in the case of Zelensky, I'm not surprised. But I've given you and your cherished listeners that it takes not one country. Have you seen one country fighting itself?
No. It's impossible.
Sporty FM, the voice of
Do you fight with yourself alone?
No,
So
clearly
if
not.
I engage with you in a boxing ring, and the two of us are fighting, that you are fighting and I'm not fighting. So Infantino,
Yeah.
I think, let me put it this way, that when it comes to the FIFA politics, sometimes he too, because he's a typical European, he hasn't gotten the balls. He hasn't. But he has a good gift and good intention. But to translate and transform into reality, that is something we have to wait for. But then you see, there are issues of raising topics, and they are also hard to deal with the topics. The two are not the same. He has actually good intentions and brought the subject matter for discussion. Whether the world will take it, because the federation that he himself belongs to, the European Federation, the Europeans themselves, is where you would have challenges.
Okay.
Because they themselves are the people who are fighting on behalf of Ukraine. So much as they don't want Russia to be part, they will put pressure. Knowing very well that their federation, the Europe Federation and their contribution to the FIFA, it is the biggest singular region that contributes bigger money.
Yeah.
It is a bigger region that contributes football popularity. So when they themselves all gang together, the Germans, the French, the Italians, the Spaniards, and then the Swiss, all of them come together that we are against Russia. It is what it is. Infantino, good intentions. Whether you be able to convey is another thing. It all comes to a political gymnastics. That shouldn't be the case. But unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves in the world of politics. That affects soccer. That affects wrestling. That affects everything that has to do with sport.
Yeah, that's true.
Talents are getting wasted in Russia over the last 3 years.
Well, the Ukrainians also make the same argument that they've also lost some talent and all. But finally, you mentioned the politics of it, and you are absolutely right, because should Gianni Infantino make this proposal and say that, okay, I want to bring Russia back, you make a very good point about the reactions he will get from all these countries who have one stance or other. How do you think he should manage the politics, because on one hand you have all these countries, as you say, who contribute a lot to FIFA, and then there's the hardcore politics part where a lot of them do not support the invasion of Russia. Where should he draw the line? How should he try and manage all of this to ensure that Russia can get admitted if that's what he wants, and every other person will be comfortable dealing with Russia in a sporting sense?
So let me just say that Infantino does not run the management of FIFA by FIFA.
Yeah.
Neither does he manage it by any martial law. He runs the FIFA with also a management board, and are all institutions. Greater office administrators are basically more of them. The other federations, including that of ours, Africa,
Yeah.
we are actually the biggest contributor in terms of country and in terms of numbers on the FIFA. Notwithstanding, let's go and speak. If the Europeans will listen, let's go and speak. If the Europeans will listen, more or less, FIFA is a pocket.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
American sport interesting. Let me tell you a story of the FIFA president before Infantino. Who was that? I've forgotten.
Before Infantino, it was Mr. Blatter,
yes.
Sepp Blatter.
Sepp Blatter.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sepp Blatter, being a Swiss national and then European, was accused of embezzlement, was accused of contracts, was accused of kickback, was accused of a whole lot of things, especially issues related to lobbying. What did Americans see? A federal agent. American federal agents secretly underground entered Swiss, invaded FIFA office. Do you remember the story?
Yeah, I remember it very well.
And then indicted to what? Someone Sepp Blatter to come to the United States of America, and that they wanted to take him away like they are doing to Abu Treka. The whole Europe, including the Switzerland, they say you are joking. You are joking. One, FIFA is not a country. It's an organization that all of us are members. When did FIFA become a country for America to sign an extradition pact with FIFA? When? Were they able to take Sepp Blatter? Did you hear the issue of that money again? Did you hear anything related to the Americans' accusations and indictment of Sepp Blatter? Where did that story go? If it had been a Ghana person who was an African who was the FIFA president, but would be languishing in jail. But when it happened to an European, the whole Europe said that America is not joking. No. So that is why he draws the line. But you know, and voices of it.
Hello, Mr. Awahab.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think we
I
lost.
hear you.
Yes, we lost you for a second. Can you just take the last few sentences? Yeah, again,
I'm
yes.
repeating that.
Yeah.
I'm repeating that. If the whole Europe, when it was about Sepp Blatter, they ganged against the United States and told them to get out.
Yeah.
But if it had been an African person who was the FIFA president, all of them would have supported the idea for the Americans to take him away.
Mm.
And I'm saying that about 70% of the strong voices vote of the FIFA have all gone in the way of the Europeans. So for the fact that Infantino would do a proposal, what he put out there is a proposal. You can name it a suggestion.
Okay.
You can name it anything. But reality, that it will gel. It will not gel. Hypocritically, all these Europeans who are against Russia, politically, all these Europeans who have sanctioned Russia, politically, you and I, the same Europeans with all these countries, about 38 countries in Europe, out of whom about 22 countries in Middle Europe and Central Europe, they still buy Russian crude oil.
Yeah.
They still buy Russia gas.
Yeah, that's true.
So, a mockery of a story. They have already been banned, sanctioned not to use the international money transfer platform called the SWIFT or the IBAN. So ask me, when Germans buy their gas, which they are buying gas as I'm talking to you now from Russia, where do they transfer the money to? How do they transfer the money to Russia? Is it not sycophancy act? Is it not hypocrisy? So politics on one side of hypocrisy, and then politics on one side of favoritism, politics on one side of preferential treatment. So the Europeans prefer, as they are looking at Russia, that has been also a very challenging and a powerhouse when it comes to Europe Athletics Federation, the Europe Athletics competition, which is not the football. Russia has been slipping away every gold medal, leaving only very few for Germans, leaving very few for the British, or leaving very few for the French and etc. So for them, Russia being out, the rest of the numbers are bogus. It's just another politics. So look at it from that point. When you bring the congregation of countries assembled before any country of the world, and it's about the Olympic Games, take out America. Which country comes with the highest numbers of gold medals? Russia. And China has joined. Not India. Not Australia. Not the UK. Not the Germans. Not the French. It's the Russians. So it's also being something that eats into their what? Their successes. So if we are similar, we are becoming stiff and squeezing the neck of Russia in terms of games, in terms of football, in terms of athletics. Let's kill them off. Let's cut their head off. And we have a baby to propagate the agenda, and for that matter, coming from Ukraine. They are not right. Infantino is right. But the reality of the matter is that there's less that we can do. A contest between realities and then also a contest between possibilities. So he is cut in the web in between the realities and then possibilities.
Okay.
Whether you'll be able to do or you won't be able to do, these are the real issues that faces him.
Yeah.
But the possibilities, he won't have the margin, because when it comes to the vote, there will no vote for him to have his right. And for that matter, in conclusion, he's not running the FIFA martial law or martial decree. It results into a board, or it results into a council, and made up of the whole Europeans and their related allies.
Well, quite a complicated journey for Mr. Infantino. We'll see how he handles it. But thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
I'm sorry for him.
You don't envy him at all. But let's see how he plays the politics of the day. You are right. The politics of favoritism and then handling all of these several interests. All of it quite layered and quite mixed and nuanced. We'll see. Mr.
Let me give, before you go, let me give you a typical case scenario.
Okay.
You remember what I will call it as another debacle of South Africa?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, 2010, yes.
Do you think that if it was a quarter-final between England, a quarter-final between France and Uruguay, a Latin American or Central American country, and that was headed in, forgotten our player who did that.
I think it was Dominica Dia who actually headed it.
Dominica Dia, yes, who came from the touchline to do that deal.
Yes.
Think if it was France, that referee would have the balls to declare that ball a penalty. Because he was even already outside the ball, outside the line, inside the pool, and became a goalkeeper.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of
They did allow him to give them the chance, because the argument here is that for Ghana, how Ghana was seated, our next team that were to play with, Netherlands, Holland was on standby.
Yeah.
The whole Europe was back in Holland to come in. But if you allow this small country, and the way they are playing this 2010 World Cup on the continent before the eyes of Africans, if they beat this Ukraine, the Uruguay, that will fall in. And if that falls in, whoever comes will also fall. That was the mentality. Other than that, if it was any party, had it not been an African country against Latin America, which will have the backing of Spain,
Sporty FM.
to some extent, and it was a Spanish team that was playing with Latin American team, hot dog, that ball would have been a penalty. It was a goal. Ghana would have been declared winner to go and face semi-finals with Dutch, but because it's Africa. What did FIFA president say about that? Seblata? Did he speak? No. Did he condemn it? No. But then people woke up. A lot of coaches around the world, including Marino, including Arsenal coach, I forgot this Frenchman. Of them.
Arsene Wenger.
Wenger, they were very, very angry. They can power angry. They said no. But at the end of the talk, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, did they reverse the entry?
Sporty
No.
FM.
It took the 7 part.
Hello?
Are you right?
Yeah, I think hello, can you hear me, please?
Very well.
Okay, I think you can proceed and wrap up. The line is getting a little choppy.
Okay. With Ghana and then the
Hello?
finals. And such a goal was almost aiming, and such a ball was just breaking into the zone. You think they will allow Suarez to be a goalkeeper overnight? Arrest. I won't say that he won. He arrested the ball and then declared a penalty, which becomes a very big show, a very difficult occasion, and then it gives everybody a kind of a pressure because it's big or big. And even that ball, if Akemoja had scored, that means the referee was not going to whistle. Any ball that would have gotten into the Ghana 18, it would have also be a penalty against it. They square the equation and throw the match in wilderness and let us battle it out until they make sure that Ghana wouldn't win. Sometimes I pity us for not being patient, but that is where destiny brought us. So Europe and those countries, please, it's all that goes into the nitty-gritty of the day-to-day running of the FIFA affair.
Yeah.
Loss against African countries, it doesn't go against European countries. And you are very much aware. They shift the post. The story is not different between Accra, Zofok, and Kotoko and the GSP, dealing with smaller teams in Ghana. Do you know how it is? Now you know how it is.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Oh, you don't know. You remember the story of 2015?
Yeah.
Take 3 points for Zofok and act 8 for Kotoko.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sports.
Now you know I'm a phobia.
I know.
You remember that? Yes.
I know.
At that time, 19 months ago, we were doing the relegation. Kotoko was in the relegation.
Uh-huh.
Look at the FIFA laws. Beautiful laws. How matches were brought to the disciplinary committee. The disciplinary committee did not sit on cases whereas the first round has ended. The second round has ended. Left with about 8 matches to complete, 5 matches to complete. Then they raised an issue of matches that took place in the first round. And started deduction points. I mean, and some of our everyone's away. We have with you. GFA will sit down for us to book then to go out of the league. It is the same way that is on us. It is the same way. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Farouk Al-Wahab. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Have a good day, sir.
Exactement, merci.
All right. Merci. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Farouk Al-Wahab. He's a Ghanaian international relations analyst and security analyst, sharing his thoughts on this very interesting thing from the suggestion from Infantino, saying that, look, he thinks Russia should be brought back into at least football. Okay? He says FIFA wants to, or FIFA will look at lifting the ban on Russia. His Ukrainian friends say no way, they will not accept this at all. They don't understand why Russia should be brought back into the game. I don't know what you think. 054-257-1061. It's 8:59. 8:59. Let's proceed with the rest of the show. Our very good friend Michael Asaibedu is joining us from the lovely city of Kumasi, Sporty 91.3. Michael, good morning. How are you doing today? How is Kumasi?
Good morning, guys. Kumasi looks bright. There were rains yesterday, but this morning the early morning sun is up and the weather looks very, very good. And I'm also good. In fact, I went to the gym. I just returned, so
wow,
keeping fit.
Yeah. I like that. He's in his gym clothes, man.
Let me see. He went to where?
He said he went to the gym. Raymond, what is it?
What did you go and do there?
What do we do at the gym?
No.
I went to compose a song.
No.
He said he went to go.
I know why I'm asking this question.
Why?
I know Asaibedu.
You
I'm suspecting.
You're suspecting what?
I can't do my best.
Look. You are suspecting what eye candy. What does that even mean?
Eye candy.
Explain to the court what eye candy means, Mr. Nyamado.
After his
Sporty FM.
attire drinking.
You've been saying this thing for weeks.
After his attire drinking escapades in Morocco, he has to.
So Inchi, eye candy will be Okobone and Iswakoma.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know what he went to Bobon in Iswakoma.
Oh, myself.
He says he went to the gym.
I said I don't trust Asaibedu.
Wow, look.
So who goes to the gym for eye candy?
Asaibedu.
Tell us.
Michael Asaibedu.
Do you also go to the gym for eye candy purposes?
No, not at all. Not at all. Very disciplined boy. Very hard worker in the gym. No pain, no gain. Michael, how you doing?
Raymond, I'm good.
I mean, by now, the body pains are killing you.
Oh, no.
The body pains, they kill you.
Oh, no. I didn't go to lift.
Oh, okay.
I went there to just stretch, do some physical exercise.
But this one, you can do it in your room.
No. You mostly when you do it alone, you are lazy. So you need to be part of a group that do it in a coordinated way, in a more organized way, someone leading it. So I think
that's good.
It's best that I be part of it.
I mean, that's wonderful. It is actually great.
I'm starting today.
You are starting today.
Yeah. So Michael, let's do a 90-day challenge.
Okay. So how are we going to do it?
I'll send you what I see today, and then you send me what you see tomorrow.
Ray, you're incorrigible. You. All right, Michael. Let's get down to business. Last night, well, before we get into that, I don't know if you have any thoughts on Gianni Infantino's calls, or he says FIFA will consider reinstating Russia after the ban that was placed on them in February 2022. The Ukrainians are not happy at all. They say they do not want to see Russia anywhere in the world of organized sports. We spoke to Mr. Farouk Al-Wahab, who's an international relations analyst, saying that there's a lot of hypocrisy on the side of countries who accuse Russia of misconduct. They say that some countries have a track record of misbehaving, and yet they are saying Russia is misbehaving. Ukraine, according to Mr. Al-Wahab, is equally involved in the war. They've also killed Russians, so they cannot point an accusing finger at the Russians and say that they are the only ones misbehaving, or they are the only ones committing atrocity. I don't know what you make of all of this, all this back and forth and the controversy surrounding Mr. Gianni Infantino's comments.
I followed Al-Wahab's comments when I was driving back home, and I think he explained in brief the historical aspect of this, the political aspect of this, and to an extent, the cultural aspect of it. So yes. I would not want to bore anyone with a repetition of what he said. But in general, whatever thing is happening is because there have been strings that have been pulled from behind the scenes. And I don't know if you've monitored, right after Infantino, Kirsty Coventry, who is the president of the IOC, has also intimated something similar, that there could be a way for Russia to come back into mainstream Olympic Games. And as such, the athletes will not need to compete under disguised nationalities or as separate artists or individuals. Now they can come as Russia. She hinted towards something like that. Clearly, it means that there are some unseen faces who control affairs of this world who are pushing for this agenda to be realized. Because as these things are happening, on the other side of the political spectrum, there is also a way between America and then Russia to mend the fractured relationships. And plans are far advanced. There will be some concessions that Russia will need to make, and then there will be some initiatives that America will need to engineer on behalf of Russia in terms of the EU and also other political landscapes. So the broader politics is there, and then this is part of the benefits that Russia will get when they make concessions as regards some of the proposals that have been made to them by the high political powers and influences. Now, Infantino is smart, and I think he's learned very well from the roles he's played as Secretary General of UEFA during the time of Michel Platini. He's actually taking time to study the whole aspect of geopolitics and how it can influence decisions one way or the other to the advantage of FIFA and then its member associations. He's a smart guy. Recently, FIFA came under a lot of stick due to the Israeli-Palestinian bit, when a lot of people cited examples that the moment Russia invaded Ukraine, FIFA was quick to act and that they banned Russia. Now Israel has been launching assault after assault on Palestinian people, and then the whole world is silent and FIFA is silent. Israeli football is allowed to continue. They are playing their leagues, they are recognized and allowed to compete in the UEFA organized competitions, and they've even played in the European Championship qualifiers as well as the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And all these things will be registered at the top level of FIFA. They will know this. And one way to get back, try to make sure that they portray a certain image of not being hypocritical and not being biased, is to make statements like these and then initiate steps to get them back. And he's smart again when he speaks to the youth sport development. He says that youth football players or athletes are not getting the opportunity to display their talent at the top level because Russia has been banned. I think he's smart. And I love leaders like that, those who know how to play their cards well, those who know how to speak and communicate the right words as and when. Whatever thing he said would definitely not sit down well with Ukraine and then their allies in this episode. But certainly, it will warm the hearts of many others who are also of a certain opinion that FIFA is mostly tilting towards the privileged few, and then they are going against the disadvantaged many. So clearly, what thing that he said will win Infantino more support from the larger public, from the larger populace in terms of football, and then it will not make him a lot of friends among the elite few. But again, he's a politician. He needs power, and he needs the majority to hold on to power, not the select few. And I think he's playing his cards well. But does Russia deserve to be reinstated back into the game of football at the international level and then also at the intercontinental level? I think yes, because the argument Infantino makes is so salient to the extent that if Asaripodu is an athlete and he competes on the ticket of Russia, I played no part in whatever decision that was taken at that high government level to invade Ukraine, whether it is for fighting for justice for the people of Crimea. I think that I played no part in it. So I should not bear the brunt, or I should not suffer as a result of it. It is similar to when there are people who directly engage in a certain action that goes against a country, and then the entire country has to suffer as a result. And then an innocent athlete, an innocent administrator will need to suffer because of this. And I think it is much more of killing an ant with a sledgehammer. It is too excessive. Can we look at other means? Because when this happened, there were sanctions that were meted out to Russia from the political level in terms of trade, in terms of exchanges, in terms of benefits that they can get if they are part of certain unions and all that. I think that was enough. But the decision to escalate the matter into sport and as a result impose a blanket ban on every Russian sports federation, therefore barring them from competing in international competitions at the detriment of their technical experts and then their athletes, I think that was very unfair. And the decision to reinstate them, to allow them to compete, is right in order. Let politics deal with politics, and let's not mingle politics with sports. The moment we veer into such territory, there will always be a case for and against why such decisions have been made. And always people will not shy away when they even get the slightest hint of unfair treatment meted out to another person, and then a certain biased treatment given in favor of another person when similar instances occur. And that is Israel versus Palestine. I don't think that is different from Russia versus Ukraine. So if Russia have been sanctioned and Israel were not sanctioned, I think the best way to look at it is that then pamno chamno, as we say in Akan, let's forget about everything, bring Russia back, and let's focus on our football, let's focus on our sports, let's leave the politicians to deal with their politics. And I think it's set.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Gianni Infantino will have to convince a lot of countries to get this through. We'll see. I guess feathers will be ruffled. People won't be happy. But that's on the side. Let's go back to last night. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. Liam Rosinia's second loss, coincidentally to the same team in the same competition. Michael, let me stay with you. You said that Chelsea were not going to win the game, or at least they were not going to the final. And yeah, they did not. It took a last-minute Kai Havertz goal, ex-Chelsea player, to make that certain. Even though at that point, had the game ended, Arsenal were still going to go through via a 3-2 first leg win. What did you make of the result? How was the match won or lost? Let's say from a Chelsea perspective, how was the game lost? How did they lose that encounter to Arsenal last night?
I think it is more about Chelsea's game plan and approach, much less to that of Arsenal, how they approach the game. Arsenal had the advantage right from the first leg. The moment Chelsea allowed Arsenal to register 3 goals against them at Stamford Bridge, it was always going to be a tall order against a very defensively resolute Arsenal team, and one of the best defensive teams so far across Europe this season. It was always going to be difficult for Chelsea to go there, try play an open game, and then escape unscathed. So Chelsea's approach was much more like, one, yes, we need to score, we need to get a goal to even the tie and open things up. But then again, we cannot afford to concede against this Arsenal side. So clearly, if you look at Chelsea, they played most efficiently with or without the ball with a back 5. There was Jarrell Hato playing alongside Fofana and Chaloba, and then there was Marco Cucurella and Malo Gusto, who operated to some extent as de facto wing backs. But when they were without the ball, they were defending. And nobody can convince me that such an approach is indicative that Chelsea went to the Emirates to play a game full of adventure, trying to attack Arsenal and score. No, they played with a primary role of preventing Arsenal from scoring, and then build on that, find ways or moments, and then if it presents itself, they will punish Arsenal. But I don't think Chelsea offered a lot in terms of offensive actions to create goals. Yes, they had some shots, but they were basically half chances, or fairly, you can say, good chances. But that aside, there was not a single big chance that Chelsea created throughout the entirety of the game that you can actually pinpoint to and say that this was the moment. For Arsenal, they just had to relax, play their game, and then look at thwarting every Chelsea attempt to overpower them. And that they did. Defensively, yes, they made changes. David Raya had to enjoy some moments of rest, and then Kepa Arrizabalaga was slotted in as a goalkeeper. Piero Hincapié played as a left back, and that was it. Jurien Timber right back. Central defense, William Saliba, and then Gabriel. Clearly points towards what Arteta wanted, defensive solidity. So in as much as he made changes, he ensured that the fulcrum of his defense remained intact. And the 2 centre-backs, Saliba and Gabriel, whenever they play, it is very difficult for Arsenal to concede goals. And then again, he ensured that he had a solid midfield who would provide enough cover for their defense. Zubimendi, Declan Rice, they provided that kind of cover for them. So I think it was a game where neither side offered a lot in terms of attacking incursions to create goals and then create the excitement and the buzz that we witnessed in the first leg. And that clearly pointed towards Arsenal benefiting as a result of the advantage. And then they profited from a last-minute splash. It was a Chelsea attack that was foiled, and then Kepa, being smart enough and quick thinking, he released the ball. Arsenal caught Chelsea on the break, and Kai Havertz did to Chelsea what he did for them in the Champions League final against Manchester City, rounded up the goalkeeper and slotted into an empty net. I think it is deserving that Arsenal are through to the final and then at Chelsea's expense. Again, I repeat, this Chelsea team is full of potential, but there have been decisions that have actually truncated the progress that they've recorded. They were on a certain trajectory under Enzo Maresca. Now they truncated it. Liam Rosinia needs to start his own and then move on. And these young players will need to also grow from experiences like this. So it is not really bad news that Chelsea failed to make it to the final. I think they can learn from it, improve and become better. For Arsenal, it is only deserving that they get to this stage and fight for a trophy, something that they need badly. As I said, if they will have a great season, they will need to win a trophy, because whatever thing that they've done, I can term it as progress, intangible success, but they will need a certain level of tangible success to point towards, and that will be the right impetus to drive them on to achieve more. So if this season will be Arsenal's season in terms of winning trophies, they need to start from competitions like the Carabao Cup, and I think if they do win, it propels them to chase the bigger trophies like the Premier League, the Champions League, and even to the FA Cup. So yes, it is looking like a stark reality, but it is very possible that Arsenal could eventually end the season as multiple trophy winners, and they can start with the Carabao Cup. Whoever faces them, be it Newcastle or Manchester City, Arsenal stand a fair chance of winning the trophy.
Interesting stuff. Let me bring in Kelvin Usman. He's back. Kelvin, your thoughts? Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. As of the time.
How are you? Hi, Michael. How are you?
Calvin, I'm good. Your school has been banned for 2 years in Nkari SHTS.
Yeah, I didn't go to Nkari. But it's good. I'm happy. I'm happy that they've been banned from this. This will serve as deterrent to all others. They need to crack the way, but it shouldn't be too easy for them that they would take less of the responsibility. That is the GES and then SRC and all those who organize the games. Security should be their priority. They should invest in security. We saw the numbers at the stadium yesterday. They make money. And I'm sure you saw the fiscal girl who took the hurdles as if, yes, that girl is phenomenal.
I think they call her Aviator also.
Yes, Aviator. Yes. So if that girl, if that girl is in the arena or at the stadium and there are no fans to push her like that, you could see that she was purring when she was, hearing the cheers. Yeah. So the games is nothing without the students. So please, security wise.
But that girl, I hope
the national selector.
Bar Hussein is watching, because we are short on talent when it comes to the women's field.
Yeah, we are not short on talent. The focus on them has been very minimal. And when they
the
get
talented
to the
ones are there.
Yes,
just that we don't pay attention. That
nobody can tell me. Ask Michael, the likes of Halu Tieho, Janet Tam. Those times, the girls were super. They were there, but we failed to understand that the dynamics or the makeup, the biological makeup of females and keeping them active in sport is different from males. You get it?
Yes.
So we need to treat them differently psychologically. Even their psychological, training and all that. Yeah. It needs to be different from the men. Boys, we know we are rascals. We are street guys. We don't care about whatever happens. All we aim for is the goal. At least out of 100, you would have about 80 who would fight on their own. But out of 100 ladies, if you fail to attend to them, you won't even get 25. And that is the truth.
Yeah, not to run away from the main subject, but Nathan, the girls feel that it's very difficult to get them to be focused and to pursue a car right from start to finish. In athletics especially, there are a lot of distractions that will come their way. Would they be disciplined enough to resist? When we were at this school, there was this school called Samu. Samu.
Yeah.
He brought an athlete, year one. When she's running, 1,500 meters. But I think you would have to go around about 4 times or so. Nathan, he's going, then you hear a coach, I'm a BMO. Nathan, I'm going to finish this race 200 meters ahead of, in fact, sometimes 300 meters ahead of the closest challenger. Then Amma went back to school. Amma became a star. Went back to school. Now Amma went to do Amma BMO. Next competition, Amma could not even finish in the top 5.
Amma BMO.
Let's all right. Let's be very careful over here.
Amma BMO.
What is hot? Why? Listeners, pardon Raymond.
Our beer means I'm gonna extend the gap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's what it.
I'm a BM.
I'm a BM. What is BM gap? Well, that is interesting, and I think it's good. It's good that they furnished the school. This will serve as deterrent to others. Other headmasters.
Michael, so can you just give us some context as to why in Career got banned and what exactly happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so on Monday when Zone 1 were having their qualifiers, there were rains, and the Nkawie SHTS students took advantage of the whole chaos that the rains caused, because there were students who were rushing to safety because they didn't want to be beaten or drenched by the rains. Now they took advantage of it, and nobody know where they got their weapons from. They were wielding various weapons. Some had to do with planks of wood, some had stones, belts, metals to some extent. I think I need to forward this video to the MCL team so that they get a clear picture of what I'm talking about. Nkawie actually unleashed mayhem on other students, and if you can read, they forcibly moved away from their stance to the stance of Eduman. They moved to the stance of Osei Tutu. They moved to the stance of KSTS. And on all these 3 occasions, they caused chaos, triggered fight, unprovoked, because the KSTS did not invite them. The same applies to Eduman and then Osei Tutu. But they forcibly made their way there. And another thing they wanted to do was that they wanted to force their way to where Mpasetia were. And then to an extent, some students even invaded the pitch until security decided to intervene and then avert any kind of an escalation regarding that development.
Okay.
So clearly, they defied any caution. They defied the order of arrangement in terms of where the schools were to be seated in the stands. And then they damaged property, they damaged seats. They also caused danger or posed a threat to the life and safety of the students who had come on board. And then they did not listen to any order or command from their school authorities and then the organizers. And so after the Zone 1 qualification, the authorities decided to just inflict on them a 2-year ban from all sporting activities, and also they will not play part of any SRC celebrations. And then again, they are not even allowed to appeal against this particular sanction that has been given out to them. And they will also have to deal with a fine probably in terms of the seats that have been damaged, but that will be after the NSA and then the schools and sports federations have taken count of the damaged seats, and then they will know how to build them and then go about it. So yes, that is what has happened to Nkawie: gross indiscipline and also vandalism.
Wow. We'll see. This is really, really terrible. This is really terrible. But we need the authorities to be tough on the school authorities, security authorities, and all. Let's see how they bounce back from this. Kelvin, I was asking your thoughts on Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0, second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final.
It was quite a good game, and Chelsea fans are not pissed because they lost the game. They are pissed because of the person who scored, Kai Havertz. Someone they had thrown. Arsenal had thrown away their £60 million, £60 million pounds down the drain. You know, This morning, because if Yaka and then some Chelsea fans are just commenting on a short, I think it's a video I posted about Kai Havertz goal, the build up, the sequence from Hinkapie Seda to Martinelli to find Declan Rice, and then that cross, he dribbled the goalkeeper, managed to, and then yesterday, if anything was to go by, and if this is how Liam Rosinia is going to approach Chelsea's games, then I don't think it will help him when it gets to big games.
Why?
They were a side who were chasing the game. Arsenal was not chasing the game.
I mean, they were 3-2 down.
Yes. So Arsenal were rather comfortable, and especially playing at home, a venue where they have been invincible until Manchester United, disrupted everything. And this is a team that you play the first leg and you could realize that, yes, they were going to come gun blazing at you and try to... But it looked more like Chelsea with a lethargic approach. Creativity was on the low. And I was questioning it. Fine, maybe Paul Merson's, remarks were too harsh. But on a day, especially in the first half, the second half, I didn't watch most parts of it. But first I was like, Chelsea, do they want to actually win this game? Do they want to get back into the game? Because if you go down, you rather push for the equalizer, or you rather push for the first goal, and it would have been 3-3. And now you sit back, or you settle, and then you try to defend whichever way. But nonetheless, I think Arsenal had superior quality. If you look at the two sets of scores, Chelsea fans said, yes, Moises Caicedo did not finish the game against what. The reason why Arsenal got a draw, you remember, in the league. I think over these two legs, Arsenal have actually dominated. They've actually showed them that, yes, whether it's with Caicedo, whether it's not with Caicedo. And I said that last time, that Chelsea played better because they were 10 men. The kind of energy levels that pop up, for you, and the way Arsenal was set up was always going to, favor Chelsea. And this is an Arsenal team who have been very, very much defensive this season.
Yeah.
They don't care. Arteta wants what he calls control. Whether he's attacking, whether he's defending, he's not in a rush to get results unless there are goals down and then they want to get back into the game. And even with that, there are times he takes his time. The last time he rushed it, we saw it against Manchester United, how the team went haywire and then things got maker for the Gunners to lose. Now, I look at this performance from Arsenal and I look at the number of quality players they have to fill in for them, even without Martin Odegaard, even without Bukayo Saka. And it tells me this is a team that has everything to go earn the quadruple. This has been a hurdle that Arteta has struggled to get over. I have said it. If he wins Carabao Cup, still I don't rate him. I want him to win the league or the Champions League before I rate him, because that title, lots of teams are able to win it. But it's a giant step for us now. Mentally, it's going to boost them. Having 2 victories over Chelsea in the last couple of weeks, after that failure to win Premier League game, picking up a Premier League victory and then adding this up. This weekend against Sunderland, it only boosts their confidence. And let's not forget that the Carabao Cup is the first final that will be played.
Yes.
And later in March, they'll wait for Manchester City and then Newcastle, whoever wins, which we know that City are already in the lead and it could go their favour. It would only serve as a springboard for them to go challenge for the title proper. And I think that now they've gotten to know that nothing is beyond them with what they've achieved against Chelsea, getting into the final. And for Mikel Arteta, I think psychologically, it takes away the burden. If anyone watches post-game remarks, the question was asked, you've managed to get over a semi-final for the first time, what? And you could see the smiles. Yes, now the players trust themselves, have the belief that they can go for it. And that is exactly what I think that Arsenal wanted from this game, and then it's been served. Rosinia may need maybe some extra time to get to know a lot of his players. Okay. But I'm like, if you're playing against Arsenal, it's not that Cole Palmer is not fit. Remember, he was asked questions about his first 11 and all that, and he was dilly-dallying. He doesn't have how do you have a Cole Palmer and you want goals from a rigid, robust Arsenal team who don't open up? And you don't want to play a player who can actually run through the lines and create channel passing for you. So it was useless for João Pedro to be running around, for Delap to trying to bully Hincapié and other defenders, and then there was nobody to actually serve them the passes. I don't know. It's quite strange, and I'm saying that if coaches, some of these young coaches want to take number 10s out of football, then it's funny, they should forget it. It won't end well. It won't end well for them. Look at how Michael Carrick is using number 10s, number 8s, the normal ways to get results for Manchester United.
Yeah, but the game is evolving. It's almost like we want to almost throw out number 10s.
But whether you like it or not, they will continue to be, important to teams, to football clubs, whether you like it or not. Maybe your number 10 may be playing on the extreme, area, like the wide areas, but still doubles up as the number 10, whether you like it or not. That number 10 needs to be in there. So it's a good result for us now. It's a reality check for Chelsea. I saw that the result from recent matches, narrow escapes. In the Champions League, narrow escape against in the Premier League, narrow escape. So I was like, come on, this team is not set like that. And there are still questions about Liam Rosinha and how he wants the team to play. So it's a reality check. Maybe they should go and sit back, look at it. They still have, other competitions, including the league, the Champions League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, to just work things around and then fight for. But I never saw them getting past over Arsenal, especially when Arsenal had beaten them at the Stamford Bridge. But to all the Chelsea fans who are crying, because if you are crying, your friends, please, Basa, this one is just Carabao Cup. You people say you did not like Harvest. We post Harvest video and then all of a sudden, BBNC, nothing has happened. You've just lost to Arsenal, a better side over 2 legs, both home and away. You should understand. In the last 10 games, Chelsea hasn't recorded a victory against Arsenal, and it's clear. So it's something that they need to actually work out and see how best they can get a team that can withstand the test of time. Okay. Fine, they may be chalking some of these successes, but till when? You may be lucky to be playing the Club World Cup. And then maybe Champions League. But if your efforts are not rewarded in the next 4 years, invitation will be thrown and your team wouldn't be there because of the points and all that. So we just hope that they can get better. But for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, there's still a lot more work to do. You cannot be living on the edge when you can actually win games. I always say, when you look at Arsenal's play, it's from Gabriel to Saliba, Saliba to Timber to Rice to Odegaard to Saka to Odegaard, Odegaard will turn to Martinelli, to Declan Rice to the left, Hincapié, then cross, corner kick. That has been the style. Yeah. So you see how yesterday Chelsea decided to defend the corner kicks.
Yeah, they leave 3-4 men outside the box.
It's because Chelsea have players who are dominant in aerial duels. Yeah. I'm warning the other clubs. If you think try it work for Chelsea, don't go and try it. It worked for Chelsea because they have very good players, tall players aerially who can battle for the ball. If you go and try it against any other team, you may find yourself wanting and you may concede, because when you spread 3 players like that, it means you have given Gabriel alone. That guy is a handful. You need about 2-3 players to just keep an eye on him, and the rest always come in. So maybe they would have to put a check on that and see how things will work for them. But Arsenal still a Kabibri. Arteta, if he wants to win quadruple or even a double, a Kabibri.
I see. Michael, just finally on the Chelsea thing, what do you think is the biggest lesson Liam Rosinha should learn from this? Or because he changed the squad, he can't really have any big lessons to take away from this, because a squad that's been changed and all, or there are things he can pick out from yesterday's game, or by extension. Well, I mean, I don't think he handled the first leg. He handled the first leg, right? Yeah.
Yes.
He handled the first leg.
We've beaten him twice. We beat him the third time.
Handled the first leg. Are there any lessons he can take away from this?
Yeah, I think in as much as Chelsea have lost 2 legs to Arsenal, there are positives they can draw from their performance. defensively, the performance in the second leg wasn't that bad. And for Liam Rosinia, I don't
This
see
is Sporty
an insight
FM,
into
the
his
voice
team.
of sport.
Yes, Chelsea has a lot of players as part of their squad, but in terms of the quality in that, they really lack it. And now, I think he's clear in his mind the kind of players that he can trust. Coaching and then utilizing players borders on trust in the first place. If you're a player, you need to win the trust of the coach. And I think there are players in this Chelsea team who are gradually winning over the trust of the coach. Marc Cucurella, Rich James, to an extent, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana. These are players the coach can actually look at and say that, yes, he can build a solid unit with these players present in the team. Others will also need to work hard just to be part of the coach's plans going forward. But whatever thing that Rosinia will learn from the team is that he was too open and I would say tactically naive in the first leg. And I think he worked on it in the second leg. If you look at the scoreline and it reads 1-0, you will think, okay, then perhaps Chelsea did concede some quality chances to us. And I don't think it was just that case. Their defending was solid. And even when they slip and then allowed Arsenal a sniff at goal, their recovery to thwart that offensive action was also spot on. So I think, yes, it was a very good defensive performance by Chelsea, and Rosinia can draw positives from that. Again, in terms of offensive actions, what it means is that Rosinia needs to get his best playmaker fit and physically ready. I'm talking about Cole Palmer, and these are things he can learn.
Okay.
Palmer, I think, is physically restricted. He is not able to move as he expects. He is not able to do things he would love to do freely without any physical inhibitions. And from what we see, I think the ultimate task of the Chelsea medical team and that of the technical team is to have to make sure that in the shortest possible time, they can get Cole Palmer over that bridge of being physically fit and physically ready as well. Yes, he's fit, but is he ready? There are still some limitations and they need to work on that. So yes, Chelsea lost, but there are some positives that they can draw from it. And for Rosinia, it is good for his experience. Yes, he did a good job at Strasbourg, but that was their standard. When you come to the Premier League, it is a fiercely competitive league with a lot of contenders, unlike it is in France. And so he will need to experience games like this, grow as a result of it, and become better in the future, just as he did in the first leg and in the second leg. So it is not all so sour for Chelsea. There are still some sweetness to tap from everything that happened, and they will need to learn from these experiences and become better.
Let's talk about the second semi-final. It's Man City 2, Newcastle 0 from the first leg. Newcastle 0, Man City 2. City hold a 2-goal advantage. Michael, are we to expect anything from Newcastle? We've seen Newcastle's away run this season. It's been really, really bad. They go to the Etihad. Do you expect a bit of a fight from them? Can they put up a fight? Or Manchester City are going to finish this thing and then get to face Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final?
I think no, and it's for these reasons. Where the game is taking place at the Etihad. If it was at the St. James Park, where Newcastle are known to be notorious for creating a certain intimidating atmosphere, and then they swarm you from the opening 30 minutes. If you break and allow them to score, it looks like that's the end of you. But the setting for this game is the Etihad, and City clearly know that they are second favorites in terms of chasing the Premier League title, and to win a certain psychological advantage over Arsenal, they'll want to make it to the final and beat Arsenal. And who knows, maybe it could have a psychological toll on the Arsenal team, and it could eventually signal their collapse in the Premier League title chase. So City are well motivated to go past Newcastle United to make a final appearance and then try to get the better of the Arsenal side. For Newcastle, they are just fueled by the need to defend the trophy they won last season. But is it enough? No. The other reason is they are at a deficit. They are in a hole as it stands, 2-0 against Manchester City. What it means is that for Newcastle to claw back into this game and even think of qualifying at City's expense, they will need to play a very ultra attacking game. And that means they will also leave loopholes for City to exploit defensively. And if you study the Newcastle defense, they are not so good. They have issues. Players got injured. It affected the rhythm. Malik Tao does not look like he's that guy. Sven Botman just returned from injury. Dan Ben can do a job, but it looks like he's very much comfortable as a left center back, but he also lacks the pace as well. So Newcastle have defensive issues, which they will need to sort out. And against a high-flying City team whose major strength is their attack, City's problem has been their defense. So if Newcastle are opening up, it allows for City to play their game and also attack them. So yes, this will be a different game from the Chelsea-Arsenal game that we saw yesterday.
Sporty
This will be a game where Newcastle takes the fight to City, and City also proves what they have. So I see both teams scoring, but I don't think Newcastle can put up a performance that is splendid enough to get them a result that can even the deficit and then even see them qualifying at City's expense. I think it is City that will make it to the final, no matter what happens. They can lose the game by a 1-goal scoreline, or they can even win against Newcastle United. Come end of the day, the only team I see qualifying in this tie is Manchester City and no other side.
Okay, Kelvin, let me bring you in. We saw Man City drop points last weekend against Tottenham Hotspur. Tonight they host Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle don't play well away from home and everything, but is there a chance for Newcastle to go and cause the kind of havoc Spurs caused in that second half when they came back from 2 down to get themselves a point in that game against Man City? Or that's too much work for Newcastle to do?
It's too much work, I think. City may not be good, but I think that when it gets to these seasons, if the game was, let's say, goalless or Newcastle leading by maybe a 1-goal margin, it's quite easy for Man City to get over. But in saying it's easy for Manchester City to get over, we've seen lots of liabilities with them. Defensively, they are terrible to watch. Lots of lapses. And if you give the likes of Anthony Gordon, if you give the likes of Voltemade opportunities, Sandro Tonali and the likes, opportunities to be running through your midfield, they can cause havoc. And it only takes two do I say crazy moments like it happened with the penalty, the foul incident on Gehi that the goal came, and then an awkward or unconventional way of scoring from Dominic Solanke, and it just turns the game around 2-0, and the tie will be 10-2-2. Now you'd have to go more like the sudden death, score and go, or you get into the penalty shootout, which I think is possible. But knowing from Pep Guardiola and what he's also seen from this Newcastle United team, they are defensively weak. Very, very defensively, weak. And if someone like Antoine Semenyo is on fire, Erling Haaland is still craving for goals because he knows that he needs to score. Omar Mamouche knows that now he has competition. His position is virtually being taken away from him, so he needs to fight for it. It works. But I don't see how City would fail to score at the Etihad. Even if Newcastle are going to cause us, a scare at them, and I still think City have the capability and quality. Guardiola knows that the Champions League may be far-fetched. The Premier League may be difficult for him. So domestic trophies, he can really bank his hopes on, put his all in, because he knows that the final hurdle is going to be against Arsenal, a familiar foe. And anything could happen in the final. Maybe by that time, his team might have picked up the pieces. My only problem is if you look at Manchester City, they are structurally weak, or do I say deficient this season. The core, the spine of the team. About 2-3 seasons ago, that Ruben Diaz gives you that defensive solidity organization. That on the right and left hand side you have quality players who were there. Kyle Walker, you can't get past Kyle Walker. That yes, there's a goalkeeper in Edison. But Donnarumma, I'm sure he'll be asking himself questions. Hey, Charlie, the Premier League, you people score goals like this. Because he's conceding left, right, center goals. And it's actually letting people know that he is not that extra, which we all know that Gianluigi Donnarumma wasn't an extraordinary goalkeeper in Italy. And even in France, I always say that PSG had a very good command. So the few times he was called into action, he made sure that
of course. I mean, he
delivered his
very
part.
important saves.
He delivered his part, but he's not that goalkeeper like Buffon, like Alisson Becker. You can say makes lots of wonderful stops. Like Benjamin Asai, like like Lamens. What's your goalkeeper? What's his name?
Lamens.
Yes. So I think it's going to be quite difficult, but I think City should get past this one because Newcastle themselves defensively is terrible.
Newcastle away from home, they are so
it's
bad.
Terrible. So
they are so bad.
It's terrible. So I think City will edge this, and then we're going to have a master and apprentice final.
Guys, anybody to go for Antoine Semenyo to score again?
I want to look more at Erling Haaland.
Okay.
I think Semenyo scores in every other game. So he scored against Spurs. I think I'll look at the Premier League, the next Premier League game for City for him to score.
Okay. So which means that in your setup you have both men, Semenyo and Haaland, both starting tonight.
Yep, I think Pep will look at that, but I also want to look for rotation. Maybe Omar Mamouche might get a spot in the starting 11.
Okay.
So one of Semenyo or Haaland will likely have to start off the bench. And so, yes, that's what I'm anticipating. But yes, one of Haaland or Semenyo to be involved in the goal in this game, depending on who starts.
Okay, we'll see. Game will be played tonight. Man City taking on Newcastle. It's some people say halfway through the semi-final. Manchester City lead 2-0 from the first leg. We'll see if they'll be able to complete the job, or Newcastle will give us a thrilling evening. They'll give us something to be excited about. Time check is 9:45. We'll be wrapping it up in a bit. Yeah.
Right, people. Have you seen Eric Beckwith's suspension?
Yes.
Why has he been suspended?
The one who brought the news is there. Training the whole
Michael. Assemble the sea.
Almost say wakoye eniamo ho sem de akire team mpanyefo ana wabu nhyehyeye wo ho ma atenenefo omo Samates omo nhyehyeye fa coaches ho nti
Hey, when this so
hey
babe. I wonder what it is that he did. Does anybody know?
Was the punishment is serious, eh?
I think it was a 2-week suspension, yeah? Wow.
So the statement reads from Samates, management has taken the decision to temporarily suspend Eric Beckwith from his role as assistant coach and youth team coach for insubordination and breach of the ethics guiding members of the FC Samates 1996 technical team. He has subsequently been referred to the club's disciplinary committee for hearing, and the public shall be updated on the outcome of the disciplinary proceedings. So it has not just ended there. It means that whatever happens during the hearing, if it is established with enough substance that Eric Beckwith actually is culpable of what he's been accused of, the sanctions could be severe than it is now.
Whoa. I want to ask. Ordinarily, aren't these supposed to be internal matters until maybe you've relieved him of his duties and
Sporty FM.
You are done with your investigation.
You get it? No, Nathan. Let's.
Of course, I mean it's an internal matter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't see why they are selling him to the public, and then how would you
have
feel?
a problem with the news being made public?
Yes.
I mean,
If not for
until you are done with your investigations and you've done your final ruling or final outcome, that can come out. But this one,
But even that,
you can choose to keep it internal.
yes, even that,
yeah, keep it internal.
Even
When you
that.
finish, the only thing is you part ways with this person.
That's all.
Or even if you don't part, you've given him an internal punishment. He's back. at
Yes.
work. We proceed from there.
Exactly. I
But
don't.
I don't understand why they've made
This one is a show of ego. The letter that was written, Michael and I, we know where it's coming from. We know who penned it. The writing is clear.
And you are saying that so it's an ego war.
Oh,
People
yeah.
want to show power small.
Yes. I think there's some clash of ego and
Something.
all that. Yeah. Something has happened. Charlie, staying in someone way is difficult.
Yeah.
Ask an worker, may so rest in peace. He said, I had a do. It's difficult. It's difficult staying there. So, the list, then people will frustrate and then they will start to doing whatever or things that, on the normal.
As somebody said, fetish and explanation.
Yes.
That is
Are coming to
Really? I see. Anyway, look, we can't speculate here as to why he has been.
Yeah.
But look, clubs have every right to suspend people who they believe have misconducted themselves. So that is very fair. That is very, very fair on all of that. Michael, this suspension thing takes me back a few weeks to the news of Samuel Tinedu's suspension by Asante Kotoko. Charlie, then he had gone to do something. Anyways.
Kotoko.
Yes.
Issues there. Maybe one day when we leave the media, we'll talk about it.
You can't talk about Kotoko matters when you are in the profession.
No, because the other guy too, who nearly beat his teammate at training, he's also been dismissed from the club, right?
Hey,
yes.
Central defender.
Yes.
Yeah, he nearly beat his teammate at training.
Ablo.
Wow.
He imported. You see, we don't say these things to taint the reputation of these players, but in fact, they are stuff that they do when they went to. Is it even fit for me to discuss?
No, I mean, no.
He imported the lady to hotel room when they were preparing for a game.
No.
Team manager said, yes, it's actually some weird stuff. Our players, I think, and most of them, when they finish their careers, they take it into their coaching careers as well.
Yeah.
Most of our boys are a bit recalcitrant, and it's something that we really need to inculcate in them. Discipline. We need to make them appreciate the essence of discipline and what it plays, the role it plays in their careers. Recently, a Ghana Premier League player left the shores of the country. I told you about this news.
Augusta.
To play for a Sudanese club.
Yes,
you get it. If I spill the disciplinary details that have been captured in his contract, the do's and don'ts, they are so explicit that you know exactly what is required of you. If you break it, the contract that you penned already captures it. If you show up late for training, the fine, it is there. So it is not up to that moment where you go and then you get some elders to come and plead on your behalf.
No way.
If you breach any of the stipulations in the contract, these are the sanctions. And I think our class will need to start adopting some of these models. We are a bit too laissez-faire. We are so open. We are so interested in deliberations instead of just imposing the do's and don'ts, camp rules, so that if players breach it, they know what will be done them in terms of sanctions. But we allow players to have some leeway and then they abuse it. And these are players who don't know that I am a professional and I need to act in this manner. How can players be thinking about partying, enjoying themselves when it is like 72 hours or 48 hours to a game? These are issues that our players don't do right. So the clubs will need to take them up and then instill discipline in them. If Mohammed does not go to the mountain must come to Mohammed at a point in time.
Okay, I mean, one of these days we should just have a conversation. But you are right though on some of the things we encounter in this business that we keep to ourselves until we retire. As for the stories, we all have truckloads of wild stories we can't say anywhere until we've retired from this.
Oh, even just yesterday, I got a development from Togo regarding our own Accra folk. I just forwarded to their management and decided against bringing it to the public because it was bad.
Okay, you will discuss it.
Forward it to me.
We should
forward it to you.
As for you, these are the things you like. Something that is
I'll open the problem tomorrow.
All right, 9:52. Let's wrap it up. This is the Sporty Breakfast. We are drawing the curtains down. Ray, you said you have something to say.
I have a very special birthday request. Baba, if Baba is in the building, I have a very special birthday request.
Whose birthday?
This one is coming from my good friend and brother, Solomon Kusi Tete. He is in the PR unit of the Ministry for Sports and Recreation. And Solomon wants to wish a very special person a happy birthday. Now, this is a message.
This
Happy
is
birthday to
Sporty
Delcy
FM,
of
the
Ghana
voice of
Communications
sport.
Technology University, Accra. May the good Lord grant you all your heart desires today and always. And I hope today brings you everything you've ever wished for and dreamed of. Happy birthday to you. And I just want you to know you are the best. This one is coming from Solomon Kusitete of the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. And he wants Delcy of Ghana Communication Technology University, GCTU, Accra. He wants her to know that, look, she's a special person. And on this very special day, all his love goes to her. And happy birthday to her.
Okay. Yeah, Kelvin.
Yes, also to a friend, yes, Divine Chebodu, who's a CEO for Nations Football Club.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Divine, yes, happy birthday. May the good Lord continue to bless you, and then keep producing, the very best of players for the Ghana Premier League. Let us see more. Yes, I know that you work on Isaac Wochi, party. you work on Wochi to become a cool-headed boy, and then you can get the best out of him. And Ivan Safo, they have some very quality players in there. Yeah, so Divine, Charlie, happy birthday. Keep winning, man.
Kelvin and Nathan, I want you to help me understand.
What is it?
What would force Michael, what would force a Ghana Premier League player to abandon playing for his club to go and see greener pastures in Obi Manso?
Sure.
No, not as a footballer. Not as a footballer. So
it's a bread and butter issue.
no, his profession, and he's a very good player.
Profession. Do you know some of these players are better plumbers, better barbers, better drivers than the football deep?
So you would rather go and be an illegal immigrant somewhere and be hustling.
And we'll bring money.
Follow your dream.
Those who finish playing the ball, are they not staying where the green pastures are?
No, but he has not finished playing.
So he wants to start early.
Charlie, some of these decisions.
So Michael,
He's a goalkeeper who can go all the way. He's a player who can go all the way.
he's linked the info.
Michael, yeah.
He's making use of his 5-year visa.
Yeah, 5-year visa, Charlie. He can't let you go waste. I'm saying
illegal immigrant.
US visas out.
Sure.
Illegal immigrant. Illegal.
No, illegal immigrant. No, wait, illegal immigrant. And then you have your own job that you can actually push all the way up.
Nana. Okwaba.
Sporty FM.
Okay.
Yeah. One day I'm a
Michael Cannon.
Raymond,
it's okay. You would relax. Take it easy. We'll discuss it away from the public.
But this is public information. The goalkeeper has stopped catching for his team. He's in America.
No, but it's okay. That one, yes, we cannot ahead. So that one, that's okay.
But me,
if you check his snap and videos, the snap stories.
The snap stories.
There's something they say. They say the land of what?
The land of
home of the land of opportunities.
Land of opportunities. So that's what he's doing. Okay, well, we will see.
The first day he arrived, he was playing your best sorry.
Hey! Interesting. Wow. All right. Let's wrap it up here on the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan Kwa. Raymond Yamado did this with me. Shout out to Michael Asaibedu and Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. Shout out to my production team, the wonderful production team. Shout out to the technical guys. To you, our listeners, thank you so much. Keep your eyes locked on Sporty FM. We'll catch you tomorrow. Remember that there's the new Submit Day, Sporty Plug at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4, European Nights at 7. The Carabao Cup second leg between Man City and Newcastle will be in sharp focus and will be at the center of the show. Keep your eyes locked on Sporty FM. Enjoy your day. Remember, we are Ghana's first and exclusive all-sport radio station. This is Sporty 106.1 FM. My name is Nathan Kwa. This has been the Sporty Breakfast. We'll catch you later. Have a wonderful day.